Hello, crafters, and welcome to the P2P Winter Online Craft Show, brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond Papercraft Shows, where we nurture your creativity with in person online shows. I'm your host for this session, Wendy Stewart, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you today. So, our Winter Online Craft Shows is full of demonstrations and presentations from our talented retailers and guest artists. They've got so much to share with us, so I hope you enjoy watching every single session. Don't forget, if you want any more information about the upcoming sessions, this show, and anything that's coming up, please head to our website, which is from picture to page and beyond.com.au. While you're there, make sure you're on the mailing list so that you get all the information before we post on social media about everything that's happening and everything that's coming up. We also have lots of special offers for everyone on our mailing list from time to time. So you really want to make sure that you're on the mailing list, ready to go, and that you never miss out on anything. Now, whether you're watching us live with right now or watching a replay, please pop in the comments and say hello, just like Faye and Diana, Em and Jackie and everyone else has. Lovely to have you with us, everybody. Thank you for watching. We would love you to share us with your crafting friends. Send us some love, send us some likes, pop down some hearts, and just interact with us during the session. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments. I will do my best to ask our guest to answer them. And if we don't get to them during the live, we will definitely go back and answer them after the live. So I am just absolutely delighted to be able to introduce to you the amazing Cathy from Eclectic Images. So let's bring her on. Morning, Cathy.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm pretty well, thanks, Wendy. How are you?
Good, good. It's actually the sun is shining in Melbourne. It's almost warm. It's scary to say that, but it's so good. And Cathy,
I just,
sorry, Cathy, for those of you, for there might be some people watching who have never come across Cathy or Eclectic Images before. So if you'd like to just briefly
Mhm.
share a little bit about you and amazing Eclectic Images, please.
Okay, so Eclectic Images is our own company and our own range of stamps. They're made of quality clear photopolymer, and we design them here in Australia, both myself and several other designers, and then we get over in America. Um, And it's just really, really exciting. We've been going for about 16 years. I just love it. I've been a stamper for nearly 30 years and I never get bored with it. It's just the best hobby. You can do so much. And especially now because we've gone from just straight stamping of cards to going into scrapbooking and now into mixed media.
Yes.
There's just so much potential of what you can create. Doing journals, it's just for your own artistic expression and your own reward and your own development. That's just such a lovely add-on as well. Um, so yeah, it's stamping something. I always have this bit of a saying that a stamper can stamp on anything that stays still long enough.
I
So I've
love
got
that.
stamping. I've stamped with paint on my walls at home, and we stamp on clothing. I've got my handbag is stamped on. You know, you just change the inks or mediums that you're using,
For
and
sure.
go for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
stamps can be used for all sorts of things. And
absolutely.
what I love too is that, and again, I often say this when I'm demonstrating for people, that it's a hobby that you can start with without having to spend a lot of money because you can often use stuff that you've already got at home. But it's also a hobby that there's always new stuff coming out. So you never get bored. There's always more exciting stuff to
Yeah.
try. And today I'm demonstrating again with the Shimmer Dust, which people have seen me do lots before. But it's always nice to push it and find different ways of using it. I'm using the Dragonfly Stamp, and again, it's one that was released last year, so you've probably most people have seen me demonstrate with it. But again, trying different ways of using it. So you see,
Definitely.
okay, I've got this stamp set, but I can do this with it, and this with it, and this with it, and that's what I try and do with Eclectic. I'm a stamper, so I try and create stamps that I would like to use. And so sometimes you look at the packaging, it can actually be a little bit confusing as to what goes with what. But when you start to see it being used, you go, ah, that's why she's done that. It's so that you can actually layer this or you can use it this way or this way. So it's often good for people if they unsure of something, to have a look on my Facebook page, because whenever we're doing craft shows, we load up samples of what we've been making. So you can see lots of different ideas of how to use the different designs, what colours, combinations you can do.
Yes.
And also we now have our YouTube channel, thanks to all the lockdowns and having to learn to go online.
Yes.
We now have YouTube, which people have been up for years to do. And I said, I don't know how. But yeah, we learned. And my husband's a cameraman, so he does beautiful camera work for our YouTube.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he's been very busy this year, so most of what's gone up this year is stuff that we did for shows, either Picture to Page or Craft Alive shows last year. So we've just been gradually loading that up onto the YouTube. I'm hoping once Matthew finishes a couple of shows he's working on at the moment that we might actually be able to do some new stuff. But yeah, so the YouTube gives you, again, wonderful views of how to use the products and how to get more out of them. And it's okay. You've bought these products, you've bought these stamps. What's all the different things that we can do with them
Definitely.
to get the most out of your investment?
And, the possibilities are endless, as we always say. So it's
Yes,
always
yeah.
wonderful to see some new techniques, some new ideas, and I can't wait to see what you have. So I'm going to give you a moment to swap your camera over, and I'll come back and chat to you. Thank you. I can't wait to see what Cathy has in store for us. Dragonflies, I love. They're my favorite things. And I've told Cathy this before. I bought my first ever stamp from her at the St. Kilda Town Hall 16 years ago, I think it was. And I've still got it and I still use it. So we are so looking forward to this demonstration. Cathy, when you're ready, just put a thumbs up on the screen and I'll bring you on. Yep, I think you're good to go. All right. Take it away, Cathy. It's all yours.
Okay, I'm just going to position this to make sure we're right over the bit of card so you can really see what I'm doing.
Yeah. Come down towards yourself a little lower, Cathy. Down towards yourself. Yep.
That's better.
Yeah, a little more towards you. Down towards you. Yep, perfect. Go for it.
Wonderful. Okay. Right. So we're doing our dragonfly and we're doing him with the shimmer dusts. So what I'm going to use is both the solid version of the dragonfly and then I'll bring that version in as well.
Okay.
I'll also use some of the text stamps that are in that same set. So in the set, you get the solid and the outline and some words that are great for creating your backgrounds and stuff. But what I'm going to do is with the solid one, we're going to put our shimmer dust directly onto the stamp. So rather than just creating a background with our shimmer dust, this is the midnight color that I'm using. And I want this to really spread out. So I'm doing it mainly around the edges of the stamp. And this is going to create a background for us, but a background that's in the area where we're going to do our stamping. I could actually show you the sample of what we're going to create. So here's what we're looking at getting to.
Gorgeous.
So we're putting the shimmer dust on, but we're sort of limiting the area rather than creating a whole background. But if we get some extra splats around, that just adds to it as well. So let's have a look at this. So I've got my shimmer dust on my stamp. I'll grab my water spray and spray the card. And then I'm going to spray the stamp quite generously, really smushy it, because I want this to be as smushy as possible. If it drips as we flip it over, doesn't matter. That's just going to create more interest. See how it's already spreading out into that background. That's what we want. We've got wonderful smush happening already. It's even running off the page. It's like, that's fabulous. It's just what we want. Okay, so I'm going to grab my water spray and just direct a bit more spray where I want to get some bit more spread. And then I'll come in with some paper towel because we don't want this too dark. This is our first layer of background. So with my paper towel, but you can see with the midnight, it actually has a lot of other colours through it that they use to make up the powder. So we get these extra bits coming through. I'll just dry underneath it a little bit as well. Okay. So now we'll come in with our next colour, which is peacock. Now, peacock is a fabulous colour and it just seems to work with everything. Now, while I'm talking, I'm also going to clean my stamp ready for the peacock. So I'll just sponge that off a little bit. Okay, so with the peacock, I find it's an aqua colour, but I find it goes with reds, it goes with blues, it goes with greens, it even goes with oranges and stuff. If you have a look at our Facebook page, I've loaded up one of my design team, Jackie Keegan, who does Eclectic Fridays.
Yes.
And she has done a wonderful a sample for a weekend, which is using the Shimmer Dust, and she's done a background with full coverage, but then she's coloured the stamps and she's used salt in the water,
Wow.
which creates a totally different effect. And I'm going to pinch it, Jackie. I'm going to have salt water
Go
at
for
all
it.
my demonstrations from now on, because the salt water affects the Shimmer Dust differently. So you get a whole nother look to them. So she's done her background as a smooth coverage and then done her foreground, which is a dragon, with the salt technique. So he's more patchy and more scaly looking.
I love
It's
it.
fabulous.
I love it.
So I'm doing something here today, but Jackie, this weekend we've got something posted up. There's another look that you can do with them.
Wonderful.
Okay, so with
Cathy,
this
can I
one,
just
I'm going to,
interrupt for a moment? Sorry, I beg your
yeah,
pardon.
sure.
Kerry's asking what cardstock you're using, please.
Oh, sorry, I should have said that.
Sorry, no, I
I'm
should have
using
asked too.
no, it's the Cotton Blend 210 GSM.
Okay.
It's a very smooth watercolor paper.
Okay.
So it's lovely for stamping on, but it can handle a fair bit of water. You'll see this is actually folded up a little bit, but
Yes.
once we dry that with the heat gun, it'll flatten back down.
Okay.
Or if you're doing this at home, you could actually just sit it under a heavy book for a day and then do your next stage.
Oh, thank you.
So at home, you might create several of these backgrounds, flatten them all out, and then the next day or a few days later, do the next stage.
Thank you.
So your 210 GSM Cotton Blend cardstock, which you'll find on our website.
Thank you.
So again, quite generous with the water spray on the stamp. Instead of spraying the background with water, I'm going to spray it with a shimmer spray.
Okay.
This is the Bloom, which is gold. I find with the shimmer sprays that the shimmer dusts don't bleed as much into them as what they do with water.
Okay.
So hopefully with our peacock colour, it won't go out quite as far as the Midnight Dead. Now, if it doesn't go out far enough, of course, I can come in with water and give it a bit of a spritz and just go, come on, move a little bit for us. A little bit, but not too much. I don't want to lose all the black that we've got there. So we're just giving it a taste. So we get peacock, but we've still got that other background layer there. So and we leave this one a bit more intense. We don't take off as much. So you can see we're building up layers of background.
Yes, yes.
Now, again, clean that off. It does all just wipe off your stamps. Your clear stamps get stained with inks and things like shimmer dust and particularly markers. It doesn't affect the quality of the stamp. The stamp will still work beautifully for you for years and years. I've still got the first stamp design I made when originally I was hand making the stamps at home in my pantry.
Yes.
And I've still got one from the first batch and it still stamps beautifully. So don't think that these clear stamps don't last as well as rubber stamps. Rubber stamps are beautiful as well. I've still kept all my rubber stamps too. They're beautiful quality, particularly things like the darkroom door ones and stuff. They're just stunning quality stamps. So I always say, don't be fixed on going either rubber or polymer. Go with what's the designs that you like.
There you go.
And as much as you can, support Australian companies.
Definitely.
We have some great Australian companies making some fantastic designs and some real variation in the designs. People often look at my stamps and they say to me, Cathy, your stamps are so different. And I think, yes, my stamps are very much me and what I like to stamp. But then I can look at a darkroom door stamp. I can look at a stamp and go, oh, that's a darkroom door stamp. That's a Rachel Gregg one. And it's her style. And it's fantastic as well. And then I'll look at another one and I'll go, oh, that's a uniquely creative. Definitely. And they're quirky and they're fun. And then you go, oh, that's a Beardy. It's a background one. It's great and stuff. So our Australian companies have got so many different looks. And you can use them. You can intermix them, of course. But you can create some fantastic looks with them because there's such variety even within Australian brands.
Cathy, I'm just going to interrupt you for one moment. Sorry.
Yes, you do.
People, Cathy Smullen saying she's having a bit of trouble with the sound. Cathy, I can hear fine in the studio. If you're having trouble with your sound, may I suggest maybe log out, log back in, or turn your device sound all the way up, or alternatively pop some headphones in. That might make it easier. Sorry, Cathy, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine, Wendy. I will slow down my talking a little bit. And also, too, my voice is a little bit rusty as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that might be a bit of an issue.
No, all yours, okay. All yours.
Back to our demonstrating. So this will take, I'd need to dry this off with my heat gun or leave it to dry for a while. So I do have one that I have prepared earlier. And I have already stamped on this one our Dragonfly and embossed him. So I've stamped him with the Versamark ink and embossed him with the black powder. So now you can start to see how the card's starting to form. Now, next thing, I'm going to use some of our background stamps, and I'll do this with the VersaFine Clear. I'm just going to flip my pad over. I've had it on I like to have one side that I use when I'm doing lots of water and lots of wet stuff.
Okay.
And then I'll have another side that I keep drier for when I start doing colouring.
Yeah,
so let's have our drier side. Okay, just check, Wendy, are we positioned well?
Yes, we are. We are.
Beautiful. Okay, so to do some background stamping, I'll use the VersaFine Clear Morning Mist ink, which is a lovely grey. But I'm going to do both a couple of techniques. I'm going to just drag the ink on the stamp rather than tapping.
Okay.
I'm also going to stamp it off once on my scrap so that what I end up with is quite a soft image.
Okay, yes.
Drag again. It's not the complete image of the stamp. We get bits of it. And it's just a way of making a different look to it. Let's drag it, stamp it off, and we'll do one across the top there.
Okay, yeah.
Now, because this image, it's a text image and it has a fairly solid edge along there.
Yes.
So to stamp it here, I don't really want that solid edge. So I'm just going to clean it off a little. And this time I'm going to do the dragging from the ragged edge and not go all the way.
Got it.
So that I don't get that solid edge coming out, and then we get a lovely ragged look to our background. And let's just stamp that off a few more times. So we've used all that ink up. Wonderful. So that's second generation stamping with a drag application.
Yes.
Now I'll use the Dragonfly text stamp, and this time I'll ink it up and stamp it full strength.
Oh,
but it's still a nice soft colour because it's a grey, not a black.
yes.
Now, it's also good to let some of your words off the page. We might do one where we can see most of the word so people know what it is, but others, we're using it more as a texture and a background. So let it run off. And if you want to do a couple of second generations,
beautiful,
that can also fill in your background as well. So we're just building up this lovely collagey type of background. So I'll pop that away. Oh, I won't pop that away yet because my next stage is to add some grunge around the outside.
Oh, gorgeous.
I think elegant grunge is my thing at the moment.
Oh,
That's
I like
the name of our class. It's the name of our Paperific this year. And I think this fits elegant grunge as well. It's a grungy looking background, but with the elegance of the dragonfly, and we've got a bit of metallic happening in there. There is a shimmer in the, of course, they're called shimmer dust. So there is a shimmer in them.
Yes.
And also too, we sprayed with the bling spray. So we've got just a very light shimmer happening over the background here. So I'm just doing a little bit of dusting of ink around the edge, but then I want it stronger. So I'm going to also swipe with the ink pad directly onto the card. And I don't want to just do a smooth swipe. I want it to be a little bit grungy. So I'm letting the ink pad come over onto the card in a few spots. See here, we get just this little grungy bit there. Not too much, just I'm sort of flicking it around so we get that little bit of smudgy look. And you don't get that with a brush.
Yeah, and you create a bit of an accent, that drags people's eye to it to have a look. So,
Now, our last bit that's going to truly add some elegance is I'm going to add some more metallic to our dragonfly.
Oh, okay.
I want to lift those wings out. And to do this, I'm going to use some Gambi metallic paints. I could also use Perfect Pearls. And I'm just going to use the white gold. Now, the set that I've got here is the pearl set, but this same white gold is also in the starry colours set. So I've already pre-sprayed that with a little bit of water just to soften it. And now I'm just picking up a little bit with my aquawash brush.
Aquawash, yes.
And which is just your water brush with the water in the handle, so we get a nice even flow of ink. And now just bring it onto mainly the edges of the wings.
Yes.
This will help. You know how dragonfly wings are so translucent.
And they glisten in sunlight.
So, they do.
Yes.
So this is to create that look. So I'm pushing that metallic around, keeping it around the end of the wings, but I don't mind if a little bit comes down further into the wings, but I want most of it up on the tips of the wings. So load up with a little bit more of our white And I'm just brushing my brush off on my scrap paper so that I take some of the metallic off and don't end up with loads of it coming on work, because these colours spread very well. Now you may find too, as you're working it, because the shimmer dusts are a water-soluble product, you may pick up a little bit of the peacock in particular
Yes.
with your white. That's fine. It helps it all blend in together. You'll also notice that I'm turning my card slightly so that I can actually work the edge of the brush up to the edge of the embossing. If I colour something, if I'm trying to colour there and I go this way, I'm far more likely to go out the edge. If I turn my brush round and colour that
Yes.
way with the tip of the brush to the edge, I'm less likely to go over my edge. So again, just wipe my brush clear, and then I'm ready to start smoothing that down. And if I'm losing too much of my peacock, I clean my brush and
Okay.
just push it back up into that tip of the wings again.
Such great tips, Cathy.
Oh, good. So yes, you can see mixing. You see, this is, you even see on the brush, it's got a bit peacocky coloured.
Yes,
So it's
we can. Yes,
mixing with the
we can.
peacock. That's helping to get that blend happening. And now I just push back. So you can see I've actually pushed a bit of peacock back into the white. So that just makes that blending happening and just softens it all off. So that's our card for today. So I'm
Beautiful.
going to hold it up to the camera a bit and
Yes,
move it a bit. So hopefully you can see some of that shimmer and
we
shine.
can. Could I get you to move to your left just a smidge when you lift the card up, please, Cathy? Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. And
Yep.
so I'll lift it up again and bring
Yeah.
it in and just change those angles a bit so that you can see that shine.
See the water moving on your card as well as you're moving
Yes,
it.
yes, it'll take a few minutes to
Yeah.
dry.
No,
And
it's
now
fantastic. Let's do
I'll
that.
just bring back in the top. Keep it wet. So this is my sample one that I created earlier. So you can see what it's like once it's mounted up on a backing card. And
Yes.
I often, if I'm embossing in black, I often mount up on black because I find it then ties in with the card.
Beautiful. Yes.
And just the black base brings that out. If I'd embossed with a burgundy or something, then a burgundy backing might look better. So it depends a little bit on the theme. We've gone very much here with the midnight shimmer dust and stamping in the grey and embossing in black. We're all monotone colour scheme, but then with that splash of peacock in there as
Absolutely.
well.
Absolutely.
So the black border holds with that monotone base, and I think it actually brings out the peacock colour and the
It
black
sure
embossing
does. It
much
sure
better.
does. Absolutely stunning, Cathy. Really beautiful card, and you're
Thank
getting
you.
a lot of love in the comments. So I'm going to give you a
Oh,
moment
thanks,
to
guys.
I'm going to give you a moment to swap your camera back, and we'll come back and have a chat.
Okay.
Wasn't that a beautiful card? I know many of us might have purchased that Dragonfly set last year, but look, we've just got a whole new range of ideas we can try and take our card making to the next level. And I know someone said in the comments that would look great on an art journal page. I completely agree. I think that was Anne. I apologize if it wasn't, but it was just the possibilities, as we said, are endless. I think that's been my quote for the weekend. The possibilities are endless. So we're going to bring Cathy back on. Cathy, that was just beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
There's a
I just love playing.
And Cathy, it's amazing. I was just saying to while you were swapping your camera over, a lot of us bought that stamp set last year, and you've just given us a whole nother range of ideas to go home and try. And as you said, make the most out of your stamps, make the most out of your products. And I know our lovely Michelle always says, get to know your products and see where you can take them. And you've just given us a whole range of ideas for which we're all very grateful.
Wonderful. I just hope people get their stamps out and have a good play, because there's lots of good workshops happening this weekend with Picture to Page. So
Yeah,
really watch the videos, then get your stash out. And if you haven't got the same stamps, look at what you've got that you can do the same techniques with and just play, because that's what this hobby's about. It's about expressing ourselves and enjoying our art and getting messy.
absolutely. Now, Cathy, there may be people who don't know where to find eclectic images or how they can purchase this stamp set. So I'd love you to tell them how they can do that, please.
Okay, so you can purchase directly from my website, which is www.eclecticimages.com.au, and you'll find the stamps. There's a category of stamps, and then within that, there's various categories. The Dragonfly, you'll find them in the Bugs Alive section. You can also find us at various craft shows. we do all the picture to page ones, some of the craft lives, and we also do Melbourne Paperific. So we do try and get around the countryside a little bit, but we do lots of shows within Melbourne and Victoria. So hopefully you can catch us at a live show or pop on the website. If you're trouble finding anything or anything like that, you can always send me an email or a phone message just to say, hey, I'm really not good with shopping online. Is there another
True.
way? And we can do it over the phone,
Yeah.
things
Okay.
like that.
That's great.
And the other thing is to have a look at our Facebook page, particularly have a look at Jackie's one that I shared today with the
Okay.
Shimmer Dust and the salt. And yes, go onto our YouTube channel and you'll get lots of ideas there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Cathy, it's been my absolute delight to host you for another session. I know you've inspired all of us. I hope everyone gets out those dragonfly stamps or some form of stamps and has a go at the techniques you've showed us. And I look forward to catching you again somewhere in the crafting world.
Thanks, Wendy. And
Thanks,
thanks, Wendy
Cathy.
and Michelle, for organising this, and Jenny. It's always great to get in
Thank
touch
you.
with people via these live shows.
Thank you. I don't know what we would have done without the internet over the last few years.
Oh,
And I'm glad that
yep.
we got over that and we can get back to in person now.
In person's lovely, but this is a great way of reaching out. Not
Absolutely.
everyone can get to a craft
Very
show.
true.
So this
Very
is
true.
such a fantastic way of reaching out to everybody, keeping us all connected
Definitely.
and keeping us all inspired.
And keeping us, in the loop as to what's coming, what the products are, how to use them, and giving us a million ideas to go back and play. And that's the whole thing, isn't it, Cathy? We want everyone to get their stuff out and play and create.
Yep, so many good ideas out there. So let's all have
Absolutely.
fun together
Absolutely.
and share our pictures and enjoy.
All right, Cathy, I'm going to say bye to you for now, and I'll catch you another time.
Thanks, Wendy. Bye
Bye
bye.
for now. There you go, everybody. What a wonderful session. Cathy just has so many great ideas. Don't forget, go and check out Eclectic Images on their website, Facebook page, YouTube channel. It's all there ready to inspire you. And, if you have any questions, Cathy said, please reach out to her via email or phone call. If you don't want to buy online, she's happy to do it over the phone. She will just make it happen. So please reach out. Well, it's time for me to say goodbye for this session. I'm Wendy Stewart. I have loved hosting this for you. I hope you all get to have some crafty time over the weekend. And please remember to take care of yourselves always, and bye for now.